This is from Haaretz. Haaretz, again, Israeli newspaper. They do Israeli propaganda a lot of the time. In fact, they claimed that the IDF early in the first couple of months, they put out an article saying the IDF killing Israeli civilians, which we now know is the truth. Even the UN has said IDF killed their own civilians. Haaretz said that was fake news in the first couple of months after October 7th. So Haaretz at times does Israeli propaganda. And yet even they are admitting there's a new report, new evidence reveals the IDF had detailed prior knowledge of Hamas plans to raid Israel. A never-before-seen IDF document surfaces startling new details of Hamas's operational plans to invade Israel. The report outlines Hamas's orders to take between 200 and 250 Israeli hostages, which is the exact number they took. A newly surfaced document reveals that the IDF and Israeli intelligence systems had detailed knowledge of the Hamas plan, according to the Monday night report presented by Israel's public broadcaster, Khan. The document, which is based on information from the military intelligence's 8200 unit. So this is a report by the military intelligence, by the IDF, saying they knew all the details of October 7th beforehand. The document is titled Detail End-to-End Raid Training. Goes into startling detail, beginning with the description of a series of exercises conducted by Hamas. It said, quote, at 11 a.m., several companies were observed converging at the beginning of the training sessions. At 12 p.m., equipment and weapons were distributed to the terrorists, and then an exercise at the company's headquarters took place. At 2 p.m., the raid began. Hamas was not very secretively planning this attack. I brought you probably 7 different pieces of evidence. This is now military intelligence's own report, Israeli military intelligence, showing that they knew it was going to happen, and yet they let it happen. I don't think it was incompetence. I think that the true psychopaths who run Israel, who run Israeli society, the people at the top, I'm not saying every average Israeli, the people at the top, they wanted something to happen on October 7th so they could justify or pretend to justify their ethnic cleansing and their genocide. That is also why they've decided to make up all these stories about, oh, it's beheaded babies, it's weaponized rape, all those things that have been proven false. They're using that to try and justify genocide. And luckily, with most people around the world, it's failing. It's failing to justify genocide. But I can't stress enough, this is an IDF report. This is an Israeli military report saying they knew about October 7th. One of the most shocking sections involves instructions relating to the taking of hostages, the number of which is estimated to have been 200 to 250, alarmingly close to the actual 251 men, women, and children taken captive by Hamas. According to the intelligence brief, Hamas terrorists were told to search kidnapped Israelis for telephones so that they couldn't explain where they were. They were told to threaten to kill hostages if they tried to escape. In July 2023, so several months earlier, a military intelligence non-commissioned officer provided a warning to her commanders that Hamas intended to carry out a massacre in the Gaza border communities. I mean, I would keep reading this, but it's sounding very similar to the other evidence that we've found. There was warning after warning after warning that this is exactly what was going to happen. And then it happened. And then Israel goes, oh my goodness, what is happening? What are we going to do? Why is thing happening? No thing. And then they proceeded to genocide Gaza, and they continue to.